Hey guys, this is the Saigami Project and my name is Andrea Otilia Vörös, aka Sunny, creator of the manga series Saigami, published and serialized in Saturday AM. If you're not familiar with Saturday AM, it's a bi-weekly digital manga anthology, similar to Shonen Jump, but we feature diverse characters and creators from all around the globe. Many of you have asked for videos about character design and styles, so I figured I'm gonna start a series of videos like that, studying other manga styles as well. So in this video I'm gonna be focusing on the eyes mostly from famous shonen manga titles. In this video I'm gonna be drawing 12 different main characters, mostly their eyes, but many times I'm gonna be drawing also the faces as well to give you the whole picture. And yeah, I'm gonna be talking about my experience with those eyes and some tips what you can use for your own characters, for your own manga series. The very first drawing you can see I'm only drawing the eyes because these eyes are speaking for themselves. I'm pretty sure you also recognize the character as well, and it was really fun to draw a close-up of this angry look. I tried to bring in some shadings, both with cross-hatching and pencil shading, to make it a little bit more realistic. I really like this look, although it's a pretty simple line artwork. It feels realistic thanks to the shading and the expression. This is something you can use as well. You know, sometimes you don't need to go in with too many details, but simply with the shadings you can make your drawings much more realistic. Also, the shape of the eyes with this character is pretty close to the realistic shape. Of course, the proportions are enlarged, but both the size of the pupils and the size and the shape of the eyes are really close to the realistic. The next drawing is also somewhat close to the realistic proportions. I gotta be honest, Ichigo's eyes gave me the trouble. It was very hard to draw for me because it's so different from my style. And in this video I was trying to copy the style of the originals, since that was the point to begin with. Yeah, Ichigo's eyes, especially later in the manga, are very small and pointy, so I wouldn't exactly call them the main character's eyes, because if you take a look at shonen manga, you can see that many of the main characters have big round eyes. So Ichigo is kind of different in that way, but still he has a really intense look, and when you see his eyes you will recognize him. Next up is also an interesting eye shape. It's nothing close to realistic, but it's something you will recognize when you see it, that's for sure. It's a really unique set of eyes. Like I said, the eyes are big, but the shape is kind of pointy, so it gives you an interesting feeling. When you are coming up with your own set of eyes for your characters, you can bring in these symbols. You can learn all stuff about using symbols and shapes when it comes to drawing. For example, circular shapes tend to give a more positive vibe, while edgy and pointy stuffs like a square or a triangle will give you a very different feeling. Next up, I'm drawing Luffy from One Piece. His eyes are probably one of the most simple pair of eyes you can see in manga, but still they are very intense. It's a really interesting thing that just a pair of lines and a dot basically can give you very different looks when it comes to the facial expression. And of course, since One Piece, among with many, is a weekly series, the creators have to keep the eyes simple, because if you're working on a weekly series, you don't want to draw too complicated eyes every time, because you want to draw the simplest things. Also, whenever it comes to expressions and giving more intense look for your characters, you can play with not just the eyebrows and the shape of the eyes, but the pupils become really important. For example, usually Luffy has pitch black eyes, but whenever he's really angry, the iris in the pupil shrinks, so his eyes will become white and you will only see a dot for the pupil. And you know that is when shit goes down and the epic things will happen. Next up, I'm drawing Boruto's dad. I hope you know this guy. He has a cool story. And yeah, I wanted to go for a sort of angrier look. I kinda like to draw, squinted eyes and angry looks because it allows you to go more with details, with the wrinkles on the face and the eyebrows. So yeah, I kinda look this set of eyes. Naruto also has very simple eyes. Kishimoto even wrote in one of the volumes that he tried to draw the faces and the designs with as less lines as he can. So he also went for really simple designs with the faces as well. Of course, among the years, you could see that Naruto's face and eyes kind of changed compared to the very start of the manga. As he grew older, the eyes become sort of a bit more realistic, I would say. But still, he has that really intense look on his face. The next character is one of my biggest favorite, and although I drew him many times, I gotta give that the eyes are kinda tricky to draw. These eyes are kinda big but not too big, somewhat have realistic feeling but not really, so it's kinda in the midway. And with these eyes, the creator can have so many varied looks. This drawing I choose here from the manga is a very intense look on his face. It kind of pierces through you, especially if you remember the scene from the manga. It's a very interesting set of eyes, although it's basically simple, just thicker lines for the eyelids up and down and circular shape for the eyes. But the highlight also gives a very interesting and intense look. I also used the shading similar to the manga, indicating the screen tones with my pencil to make it more indicating the feeling that the manga gave. Of course, it's not the same, but still, you can see that the shading can bring many various feelings to the eyes. So it's not just solely the eyes. You can go crazy with the eye designs, but you have to remember that even the simplest shape of eyes can grant you a very cool and very intense look if you include an interesting shading or highlight. And of course, whole set of the face, the hair, the special effects and everything. Next up, I'm drawing Gon from Hunter x Hunter. I gotta be honest, I'm not following the series, but I found his eyes really interesting. He really has big eyes. That makes him look kind of childish, but at the same time, him having such big eyes gives you a warm feeling. Because, things with big eyes tend to give a cute feeling, I would say. Just think about baby animals or babies in general. We tend to think that things with big eyes are cute. That's why, for example, shoujo manga drawings use the big shiny eyes as well, because we will think they are cute and nice. Also, Gon has a very interesting eyebrows. It's a really interesting contrast that the eyes are very circular and big shape, and the eyebrows are really edgy. Also, you can go crazy with your eyebrows as well. Sometimes you will just draw a single line for the eyebrows. Sometimes you will give sort of different shapes to the eyebrows, make it thicker. You can do everything what you want, basically. There are no rules. You can choose anything. You can decide to go more realistic. You can go crazy. It's all up to you. The next drawing was interesting. I never draw Black Clover before because I'm not really into the series. But Asta also has an interesting design. He has a very simple set of eyes, so I was trying to go for him. The style the mangaka draws, the eyes, kinda reminds me on Haikyuu's way of doing it, but still, if you see the eyes from Black Clover, you will recognize it. It's very simple shapes, but if you take a look at the shape of the eyes, the nose, the eyebrows, you will see and you will know that it's from Black Clover. Mostly because everyone has the same face, kinda, but oh well, yeah, you will know it's his style. Next in the line is Natsu from Fairy Tail, and although he has very big eyes, the shape is kind of pointy, so whenever he's in his angry or intense mode, his glare become kinda intimidating, which was very well used in the manga many times. But at the same time, with his shape of eyes, he can give off a very warm and kind look at the same time. Of course, you can enhance this effect with the shadings. That's what I did here on this drawing as well, giving him a more shady look and giving more contrast, so the eyes will pop out a bit more. And just as the same with the Luffy drawing, you can see that usually Natsu has pitch black eyes or brown eyes, but in this drawing the pupil shrank, and it also gives you a more intense, more intimidating feeling. The next pair of eyes is what I would call a bit more complex or slightly bit more difficult than the previous eyes I was drawing. Here the creator used more lines than, for example, Luffy or Naruto, indicating various details of the eyes. Maybe somewhat closer to the realistic as well, I would say, the shapes and the proportions. Although if you follow the manga, you can see that the eyes change many times, even within the same chapter. And here I was going for one of the more intense glares. I'm not too big of a fan of the story whenever it comes to Food Wars, but the artwork, I'm in love with that. The facial expressions are just so on top, and the eyes are something that I like a lot. So doing a study with so much eyes was something I really enjoyed. And if you want to see various examples on how to use the eyes of the character, just the eyes to express various feelings, Food Wars is something I can recommend a lot, because it's really interesting that how much just the eyes can change the whole mood and the face of the character. And I really like how, unlike the other drawings or more shonen mangas, here you don't really see that angry look, but more like a very cold and collected look. And I really love that in the manga as well. And you would expect the main character go into a rage or shouting or become angry mode, but instead Soma just stays very chill and very cool, and I just love this set of eyes. The next pair of eyes is very unique. I'm pretty sure you recognize it just by a few lines, and although it's very simple, it's very expressive. And of course you can call them the typical shonen main character eyes, because they are big, they are circular, so they give you the feeling that Deku is a very kind character and he's the good guy. But at the same time, he can be very intense with his look. In this drawing I wasn't going for an angry look, but one of his key expression, I would say, when he's kind of still fidgeting but very excited, and I really like this sort of look on him. And his eyes are very unique even within the Hero Academia universe. One thing that Hero Academia is very good in, among with many other things, because it's a hell of a good show, that you can recognize the characters just by looking at the eyes. No two characters look the same. Everyone has their personalities reflected in the eyes, and that's a really good thing. You know, they say that the eyes are the mirrors of the soul, so that is an aim you can go for with your manga, and you should be going for, so that the reader looks at your character, sees the eyes, and they will look into the soul of your characters. The last character in the line has very interesting eyes. It has that circular and big sort of eyes you see with shonen manga characters a lot, but also since the author has a sort of sketchy style, it becomes really interesting, and the shading and the details in the iris makes this look really interesting. This drawing is also a very good example for how to make the eyes pop, just by adding shadings. You know, having shades or tones around the eyes will make the white of the eye pop, and it will result in a more intense look on your character's face. And of course you can enhance that with shading even within the eyes. And with this we have 12 pairs of eyes from famous shonen manga titles. Even though this wasn't a step-by-step tutorial, I really hope you found this video interesting, and it will be helpful when you are drawing your own characters. As you could see, most of the times you don't have to go crazy with the details, because the most simple shapes can grant you a really interesting and unique look for your characters. I would recommend to pick your favorite manga series or favorite characters and study their eyes and their various facial expressions. It will help you to find your own style, because if you know what sort of eyes and looks you like the most, and you think about why you like them, you can combine those elements and include them in your own drawing to find your own style. And you can do the very same with the eyes. And of course the eyes of a character are really important. Of course you can go very simple, but it also has to give your character a look, a feeling of a character. Like I said, it's the best if the reader look at your characters, sees their eyes, and they can see the soul of the character. So that's something you always should be aiming for. Of course, in the future I'm gonna be making more detailed tutorials on eyes. Of course, I'm not gonna be forgetting about the female characters, because that's a very interesting topic as well, and you will need female characters too. So we're gonna be doing a video like this, but featuring heroines and female characters from manga series. Also, not just from the shonen style, but from shoujo style as well. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, write a comment about what you think about these eyes, or who are your favorite characters, so I can draw them the next time, for example, or what kind of videos you would like to see from me in the future. And please don't forget that you can read my own manga series Saigami at Saturday AM. The first 2 chapters are up online for free. The first volume is already available worldwide on Amazon.com. And the second volume is coming really soon, so please look forward to that. And also you can read Saturday AM the magazine. It's coming out every 2 weeks. I'm gonna leave all the links below. You can subscribe for just $5 for a whole year, which will mean 20 issues, which is well over 1,000 pages of content, including Apple Black, Bully Eater, Clock Striker, Paradise Down, and many interesting series. So please check us out. So much about this video for now, and my next video will be out in a few days. I don't have a schedule set yet. I'm thinking about doing the videos on the very same day, but like I said in my previous video, I still need a bit more time to settle with everything, including manga drawing and doing videos. But yeah, you can expect my new video in a few days. Take care. Bye.